see a lot of videos on this, and I'm gonna do it a bit different. Most of the videos I see on books typically just focus on books of the same topic. It'll be like 4 or 5 books that are all about personal growth, and they all kind of say the same thing, but from a different voice, different author, or a different angle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you different books on different topics and from authors who have other materials that you should consume. So I'm not even saying that you have to read these books, but more so, these are authors and people that are masters of these topics. And I'm gonna tell you about the other materials they have on this information. And the topics are gonna be overthinking, which we all deal with all the time as musicians and artists, right? Marketing, you need that one, gotta market your stuff. Self-confidence and anxiety, it's a major issue for creatives. Stoicism, which deals with the daily hardships and dealing with life. And finally, I will give you a personal growth book, but this is the best one, and I guarantee you haven't read it before. First off, if you don't know, my name's Justin. I run Cosmic Academy. We've been around for over 10 years, and we've worked with over 650 amazing artists. And these artists, they get results. Results is all we care about. They signed to the biggest labels like Toolroom, Monstercat, Anjuna, Mousetrap. I can keep going. Spinnin. They play the biggest shows. They play Ultra, they play in Ibiza, they tour. We said 3 students play EDC. And a lot of their results and a lot of the teachings that we do with them, we do recommend these books. We do recommend these authors, and they gain a lot from it. And like I said before, it's not just going to be about these specific books, but these authors also have podcasts or great YouTube channels you can follow and a TikTok you should check out. So it'll be more about their materials as a whole. Let's start with Overthinking, and the book for Overthinking, the author for Overthinking. But first, you just smash that like button, just crush that like button. I don't know what it does. I have no idea what it does. I think though, it helps sea otters swim faster. It helps them swim. Sometimes they might have to swim faster. So smash the like button, help out some sea otters. Okay, so back to the Overthinking book. This book, you might have seen it before. It's a subtle art of not giving a fuck. It's like the go-to book when it comes to overthinking. It's actually pretty short. It's not a long read, and it's very timely. So many of the famous books on overthinking are from like decades ago. This book is actually relatively recent, and it talks about like modern society and like the modern challenges you face, dealing with what others may think about you, overthinking people's opinions of us. And also this author, Mark Manson, has an amazing YouTube channel. I've actually gained more from Mark Manson's YouTube channel than from the book. So if you don't want to buy the book, that's okay. But if you want to get better at overcoming the overthinking, or trying to get better with, people's opinions of us, check out Mark Manson, check out some of his work. It's really good. The next one is going to be about marketing. There's a lot of marketing books, but so many of them are outdated because the marketing landscape changes so quickly. Even the one I'm going to show you now is a bit outdated, but for this one, it's more about the author. If you don't know who this is Gary Vee. Gary Vee is one of the forefathers, the most influential people when it comes to social media marketing in the current landscape. I actually had Gary Vee speak at one of my conferences, I think 12 years ago. And even back then, he was screaming about social media, the power of it, the influence of it. And he happened to be right. Fast forward to today, he owns the largest social media agency. It's called VaynerMedia, and they represent the biggest corporations in the world. But even Gary himself, like his individual brand, is an amazing example of what to do with social media marketing. So this particular book, Ask Gary Vee, I think this is his 2nd or 3rd book. It's a little bit older than some of his newer ones. So he's putting out a new book like every 2 or 3 years, basically just updating you on the newest trends, the newest technologies, the newest methods for social media. So I'm not saying, oh, buy this book. You don't have to buy this actual book. Buy maybe his most recent book and definitely start following as many of his accounts as you can. Like he's literally on every platform and he's huge. He's got over 10 million on TikTok, 10 million on Instagram. I think he was the first non-celebrity to get to 1 million on Twitter. So he's like an absolute beast when it comes to social media. So if you're looking for a book, marketing, social media, get a recent Gary Vee book, or just follow him on any of those platforms. Next topic, books on self-confidence and anxiety. I struggle with both of these things. I openly talk to my students about it. I've gone to therapy for years. I practice meditation, but I'm not kidding when I tell you that this book and this author has been life-changing for me. So this is David Goggins. If you don't know, he has an incredible story. He grew up in an abusive home. He grew up in terrible poverty, and he overcame all the odds. He's extremely successful. He's one of the most successful endurance athletes. He's a Navy SEAL. He's, I think, an Army Ranger. He's this decorated veteran. And he had to transform himself into that. He struggled with horrible anxiety, horrible self-confidence issues from his upbringing, from his trauma, like so many of us deal with. And this book, Can't Hurt Me, this was his first book where he explored these topics, and it's incredible. He actually just published a second book. I have it on Audible. Also amazing. Just listening to him talk, putting him in your head for a second and hearing what he's overcome, giving you tips on how to overcome yourself as well. It's just fantastic. So he's there and his books are there if you need help in those areas: anxiety, self-confidence, building yourself up. With that said, Goggins is not like Gary Vee on social media. You know, he doesn't have a million YouTubes. He doesn't have Instagram really, and he's not on TikTok. There is some content on his Instagram. You can also try to find some free talks he's done. He goes on different podcasts. He's been on Joe Rogan. I think he's been on Lex Friedman. Those are actually amazing episodes if you want to check them out. He's just an incredible guy, an incredible story. You know, you read his story, you listen to him talk, you truly feel like you could run through a wall and do anything. Next up, we have the topic and book on Stoicism. So Stoicism has gained a lot of popularity in the past few years. It's all about dealing with the hardships of life while not making a fuss over it. It's interesting because Stoicism is a concept from thousands of years ago, and it's so applicable to today. So this book is The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. Ryan Holiday is also an amazing person to follow on YouTube, TikTok, etc. It's really interesting. Ryan Holiday used to be the head of marketing at American Apparel. So if you're old enough to remember how big American Apparel was, that was all because of him. So he quit this unbelievable marketing career to become a Stoic. And it's really incredible hearing this stuff from a guy like him because he knows the chaos and the difficulties of regular life. And Stoicism is an incredible practice for us in music. You know, the music world has so many twists and turns and difficulties. There's rejection and letdown and surprises. And this book, as well as his other material on Stoicism, it really discusses how to navigate those difficulties with perseverance. And because Stoicism and this discipline is like thousands of years old, there's a lot of great information on it. And Ryan does a great job distilling it and really talking about the most important parts of it. Okay, finally, the best personal growth book in the world. And as I promised before, guarantee you haven't read this yet. This one is your journal. If you currently don't have a journal, if you currently don't practice journaling, you have to do it. Clearing out your mind, writing down your goals for the day, organizing your thoughts, that kind of work is so much more beneficial than reading some book on personal growth. It's especially important for creatives and artists. I make all of my students, when they start the class, I make them all get a journal and keep one. You know, anytime I talk to any of our successful students like Nostalgics, if you know her, she's doing incredible. She just played the main stage of Beyond Wonderland, main stage of EDC. And I always say to her, I'm like, hey, you still got that journal? And sure enough, she still has her journals from when she took our course over 4 years ago, and she still writes in them every single day. So make that your personal development book. Use it every day, and you will see how much you evolve. And help me out. Let me know in the comments, did I miss your favorite book on marketing or anxiety or overcoming obstacles? Let me know in the comments if I missed one, if you have any recommendations. And if you don't already, hit that subscribe, ring that bell. We'll see you next time.